Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our Egg Timer Reviews podcast.
Today we're covering Disney's newest film, Turning Red.
And this film has gotten quite a lot of viewers divided on whether the film is good or not. So some just stayed away from it. Well, here we're going to give you our honest opinion of it.
And before we give you our opinion, be sure to like, subscribe, and click notification whether it's on future podcasts and one past videos.
Absolutely. Disney exclusive.
Yes.
Pixar label, but really it's a Disney movie.
Right. It originally was going to be in theaters, and then it was eventually pushed to Disney Plus. We're not sure why, because Encanto got a theatrical release and then Disney Plus release. But hey, it looks like it still got a lot of viewership anyway.
Now, the first thing I would like to say for both of us is this movie had a lot of potential. It could have been a great movie.
Mm-hmm. It definitely could have. The theme really reminds you a lot of Star vs. Forces of Evil with the Muberty. And it looks like the storyline here was going to be that. And then we felt like it felt like two different movies when we watched it. The story is that May is able to turn into a red panda one day, and it looks like it's a metaphor for puberty. But once it gets started with that, and it's supposed to be like, okay, her going through the changes and everything, and they just use that as a metaphor, which would have been fine. But then about 20 minutes after that reveal, it's then shown to be a mystical panda. It's a power passed down through the women in her family. You have to choose whether she wants to keep it or not. And when we watched it sounded like two different movies.
Absolutely. It would have been different if they had picked back up on the, hey, she's gotten her time of the month movie, and it stayed in, and here's where it failed. As we mentioned, it seemed like two different movies. That part was never brought up again. And magically, all of her problems just disappeared that had to do with that.
Yes.
Her mom took out a bunch of pads, and that was the end of it. You never, knew if she, was having issues or anything. It was never discussed. And then it became, as you said, a magical movie about the family turning to pandas. Personally, I would have preferred that to have been the movie. And
Right.
We've seen an entire movie about, this being passed down, and only the women have it, and her choices in deciding to, if you haven't seen this, spoilers, to keep the panda rather than getting rid of it like all of the other older women her family had done.
Right.
That there to us was the movie itself.
Right.
And it's like they threw in the girly part as an afterthought, and they didn't handle that part of it anymore after we found out that's what happened.
Exactly. And the movie felt very specific on what it wanted to tell and who the movie was meant for, which is why there's such a divide on the viewership. And some would say, well, it wasn't for you. Well, yeah, clearly when you watch the film, it really feels like this is more of the creator of the movie's film than the viewer's film. Like, this is what she went through, and this is sort of a fantastical way of tackling it.
And that was the big disappointment in terms of it being relatable for a large audience. Pixar is known for having the type of movies that anyone, anywhere, in any country, of any gender identity, age, nationality, whatever, can watch and relate to the movie and love the movie. This one didn't have that. And we can say that because right from the beginning, you get this is not a movie for guys.
Yes.
And even the guys in the movie aren't treated very well or like they don't exist. And that was a big strike for them in terms of it being marketable to a larger audience and having more fans. Now, maybe the person who wrote this movie, I think her name is Donna.
I believe so.
Maybe this is what she wanted, which is fine because it's her intellectual property. But in terms of being a Pixar movie, I think it should have just had the Disney label and not Pixar, because it wasn't what Pixar has given in the past.
Right. Usually Pixar movies are universal. Yeah, people don't like every single movie that comes out.
Sure.
It happens and it's okay. But it was seen as a movie for anybody that loved animation and loved storytelling, could watch it no matter the age or group or anything. Turning Red feels like it was only meant for one specific audience, and it wasn't harsh, but it sort of just alienated a lot of different people, other people watching it.
And I think it also eliminated a lot of younger viewers. When I say that, I mean anyone that's a child, probably up to the age of 20-something.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it took place in the early 2000s.
Yes.
And For anyone who was born before was not, because anyone who was born after that may not relate to the characters, what was going on. The boy bands were not like the K-pops and the bands now.
Right.
Of course, the clothing was different, music, everything. And for those who grew up during that time, it was fun.
Yeah.
But again, it seems to ostracize those who don't know about that time period, who are familiar and possibly can't relate to it. Again, that's the writer's choice. But again, it just kept chopping off different groups of people who may have wanted to enjoy the movie.
Right. And lastly, the good parts of that, we can say the animation was still very well done.
Definitely.
It did look a little off when we saw the pictures, when we saw it in the movie. It looked like they were trying to do 2D and 3D at the same time. Most of the characters were likable.
Yes,
Some of the
definitely.
music was very well done.
Yes.
I do like they kind of parodied the craze over boy bands and things like we have with K-pop now. That was actually funny. And there was a great score. And I do like that they did not take out both parents or just the mom. She had them both.
Yes, and the mom was fiercely loyal and loved her daughter, and so did the dad, and we really liked that. And she was willing to go to the ends to try to protect her. Yes, we know in the movies there's a little overprotection, but she really loved her daughter, and she wanted to not have her experience having the red pen the way she did.
Right.
And I really did like that about this film.
Right.
So if you've seen Turning Red, let us know what you think in the comments below. If you haven't, it's available exclusively on Disney Plus to watch. Give it a watch, come back, drop us a line, and let us know what you think.
Right. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, animated shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.